Staunton is one of the most charming and haunted towns in the state of Virginia. Located in the Shenandoah Valley among the Blue Ridge Mountains, the town is underlaid not only by a rich history, but by an expansive limestone bedrock. Some theorize that limestone may be a natural conductor for paranormal activity, which may partially explain why such activity is so abundant in Staunton. Whatever the cause, there's no shortage of the paranormal in Staunton, which makes it a must-visit for anyone who prefers their charming small towns with a generous side of the unexplained. The Staunton train station has long been known as a paranormal hotspot, and for good reason. During the Civil War, a Union general had his soldiers set fire to much of Staunton, including the train station and several miles of tracks, in hopes of cutting off the flow of supplies to Confederate troops. Today, the train station, which has long since been rebuilt, is said to be haunted by the souls who died in the fire. About 25 years later, in 1890, there was a terrible train crash at the Staunton station. A company of young opera singers had been traveling aboard the train that crashed, and one of them, a 17-year-old singer named Myrtle Ruth Knox, lost her life as a result of the crash. Reportedly, she still walks the tracks at the Staunton train station. Today, the historic Staunton train station is still in operation, and visitors who journey to Staunton via Amtrak train will arrive in this haunted destination. If that describes you, keep an eye out for mysterious lights, unexplained noises, figures that appear on the platform only to inexplicably vanish moments later, and, of course, a young blonde woman in Victorian dress walking the tracks where she died more than a century ago. Visitors who journey to Staunton via train or any other means will need a place to stay, and when it comes to accommodations in Staunton, there is no grander or more haunted choice than the Blackburn Inn. Built in 1825 by a world-class architect, the facility originally served as a resort-style psychiatric hospital, then known as the Western State Lunatic Asylum. Under the guidance of a doctor who was centuries ahead of his time, the hospital provided exceptional care to its patients. At first. Unfortunately, his successor transformed the hospital into the kind of cruel and dreary 19th century asylum we're all more familiar with. The psychiatric hospital operated until the 1970s, and after that, its buildings were converted into a men's prison. By the 2000s, the prison too had been relocated, leaving the once grand buildings and their sprawling grounds empty. Since then, the place has been purchased by private owners who have breathed new life into the property. The spectacular main administration building has been beautifully restored and has been operating as the Blackburn Inn since 2018. With cathedral ceilings, soaring archways, chandeliers, and an intricate spiral staircase, it's no wonder the owners felt compelled to restore and preserve the building rather than allowing it to fall into ruin. Today, visitors come to the hotel for the mountain views, expansive grounds, and the luxurious spa, which is coupled in the same building as an art gallery. Also present on its grounds is a historic cemetery, the permanent resting place for some 3,000 patients. The Blackburn Inn is a truly unique place, a former asylum and prison that's been given a new chance at existence as a luxury hotel. Modern guests are welcomed, and so are those who called the place home in centuries past. Just ask the staff about the spirits who still walk the halls. Visitors to Staunton face no shortage of dining options. Restaurants are abundant, and few of them disappoint. For those who love Thai food, ghosts, or both, though, the choice is clear. Ubon Thai Victorian Restaurant is a must-visit. Located in a historic Victorian inn, the eclectically decorated mom-and-pop restaurant serves the best pad thai for miles around. And while you're there, you just might encounter Mrs. Bagsby, the former owner. Although she died more than a century ago, that reportedly does not stop her from moving objects, opening and closing doors, and playing pranks on guests. Mrs. Bagsby isn't the only Victorian lady known to haunt a prominent Staunton home, either. There's also Mrs. Charlotte Spots Kaufman, or as some call her, the Black Widow. Today, well over a century since she moved into the stately Victorian home, rumors still swirl about her possible involvement in the deaths of her two husbands. Although some say she was a serial killer, this has never been proven, and many who knew her reported that she was a kind person and an exceptional friend. Either way, she's believed to still haunt the Spots Kaufman house, which now serves as a museum dedicated to Victorian culture and is said by many to be the most haunted house in Staunton. Book a tour or attend one of the tea parties held in the house, and maybe you'll meet Charlotte for yourself. Visitors to Staunton will want to stroll through historic downtown, where sights include the famed clock tower that towers over a prominent street corner. It's a place where strange and sometimes frightening apparitions are said to appear. Specters from the darker chapters of Staunton's history are believed to gather at the clock tower, as if to emphasize that they will not be erased by the passage of time. The tower once housed a restaurant, which has since closed. Perhaps one day a new one will be opened in its place. For now, if you stroll by the clock tower and happen to catch sight of a ghostly man being chased by an equally ethereal woman, don't worry, you're not the only one. Staunton is also home to Mary Baldwin University, a private college that brings a whole new meaning to dark academia. The campus abuts downtown Staunton, so visitors can stroll through and take note of its reportedly haunted buildings, including the library and theater, which are said to be haunted by a blue uniformed soldier and actress, respectively. The ghostly soldier, known as Richard, is said to be a bit of a prankster, but ultimately good-natured. While in Staunton, it's worth making the drive out to Braley Pond, a scenic place tucked away in the George Washington National Forest, about a 30-minute trip outside of town. It has a reputation for hauntings and strange energies, perhaps as a result of several tragic murders that have occurred in its immediate vicinity. If you're feeling particularly adventurous, you can even camp there, although you should know that the area is said to be a frequent stomping ground for Sasquatches. Lastly, no visit to Staunton would be complete without a stroll or drive through historic Thornrose Cemetery. Widely regarded as one of the most beautiful cemeteries in the United States, it's a true gem among final resting places. Its architecture, landscaping, and historic monuments are truly majestic. Among the historic burial lots, you'll find a section of the cemetery where some 1,700 Confederate soldiers are interred. They died in local and semi-local battles and, perhaps unsurprisingly, are said to sometimes still be seen walking the cemetery. Whether or not you catch sight of any wandering spirits at Thornrose, the cemetery's beauty is truly haunting. If you'd like to see for yourself, check out our October video tour of Thornrose Cemetery. We'll take you through every twist and turn of the historic burial ground. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more haunted visitors guides to even more of the most haunted cities in Virginia and beyond.